The following video is not made for kids under 13. If you are not 13 years old, please exit out of the video now. And please, YouTube, do not sue me. Hey guys, Leon Mooky here, and I'm here with a new What If series. This is What If Izuku had Rean Schwarzer's powers. This is part 1. This is also my 1,000 subscriber special as well. I would have normally just made an AMV, but I'm saving that for the end of the month for my Tales of month. Also, I just wanted to make this What If based on my 2 channel mascots being Rean and Izuku. And with that said, let's get straight into the video, shall we guys? At a young age, Izuku was born with a quirk. In this What If, he's actually born with a fire quirk, just like his dad. And it seems like it's a mixture of both his parents' quirks. So when he goes to the doctor, to Dr. Yu-Gi-Oh, they decided to call it pyrokinesis, since it's similar to both his parents' quirks after all. He shows his quirk off to both Bakugo and to all of his classmates back when they were in preschool. And in this timeline, Bakugo doesn't treat Izuku like trash and crap and all that. However, at the age of 6, the boys, alongside a couple other kids from their school, hearing that heroes are fighting against some villains, as Bakugo wanted to see what's going on because he was wanting to see if All Might was there. Izuku advised that they shouldn't get in the way of heroes, as Bakugo basically taunts Izuku saying, "What's wrong, Izuku? Scared that a villain might hurt you because you're weak?" Like, as he says, "I'm not weak. If anything, I'm basically stronger than you." As the 2 boys basically argue with one another, as Izuku was played by Bakugo, and they all decided to go and see the villain fighting each other. As they all see just like a small time villain and a small time hero just facing against one another, as Bakugo feels disappointed that it wasn't All Might, as they think that it's just better off to go, as Izuku says, "But what if did we never get a chance to see another fight like this ever again? This fight's just on TV. Don't you think it'd be awesome seeing this up and close?" As Bakugo saying, "Well, whatever, if you say so, Izuku." And as they see the fight go on, the villain begins getting tired and prepares to run. However, he sees an opening by trying to take Bakugo. He ends up doing that, as Bakugo's quirk is still not as powerful as it is now in canon. Right, and as Izuku tells him to let go of his friend, as Bakugo tries exploding his face, but the villain is too sturdy and too powerful. As he says to the hero, "If you don't want this kid to end up on the 5 o'clock news, you better let me go now. You got it, hero?" As the hero feels in a tight situation, as Izuku basically runs up to the guy, trying to throw a fireball right at him, saying, "Let go of Kachan now!" As the villain says, "Seriously, what a weak kid." Holding Bakugo with one arm, he brings out one of his other arms with claws coming out of his hands, and then slices Izuku's chest. As the other kids that were with Bakugo and Izuku basically run off, and the villains and the hero saying, "Oh no, I couldn't do anything. Why?" As Izuku begins crying, thinking about his mom and Bakugo, but mostly thinking about Bakugo, that his best friend is in danger and he can't do anything about it, as he feels weak and angry that he's so weak, until he hears a voice. "Do you want power? Do you want to become stronger, Izuku?" As he says, "Who are you?" just give in to your anger. Give in to your true power. As the villain says, alright, I better get going. So, thanks for being my hostage, kid. As saying this, he felt flames began burning all around them and also around Izuku, as his green hair turned white and his green eyes turned red. And the scars that were on Izuku's chest began healing fast. That's the flames heal him, as he's saying, "What the hell? That kid should be dead by now. How is he?" As he has a huge rush of anger, as he screams, "Let go of him now!" and rushes at the villain full speed, making a small crater behind him after running after him. And then his flames that would have normally been red actually turn into a blackish purple color, and soon punches the villain at full speed while he drops Bakugo in the process. And even the hero sees this as well, and is shocked that a kid like this just knocked out a grown-ass man with just one punch. And soon, Izuku begins screaming with the top of his lungs as flames begin swarming all around him. As Bakugo saying, "Izuku, stop! You can stop now! He's not hurting anyone anymore!" As Izuku begins feeling calm and soon passes out, and his hair and eyes begin turning back to normal. That day goes by, and Izuku is seen by his mom, asking, "Oh, Izuku, I'm so glad you're okay." Crying as he says, "Mommy, where am I?" As she explains that he's in the hospital, and also about the villain attack. Not only that, he has bandages over his chest. However, the wounds that were made basically made a scar, and not just from the villain attack, but also from himself. As the doctors began wondering what happened to Izuku, they even told him about his quirk. That his quirk is pretty different from what they've ever seen in their life. That it looks like it's a mixture of an emitter and a transforming quirk. As he wonders, is that even possible? As the doctor tells him it's more of a rarity. No one has seen. It's like a different type of quirk in a way. As Izuku believes that he's gotten strong, that he is a lot more stronger, but he only sees glimpses on what happened. That he almost got killed, and that he also saw Bakugo in trouble and wanted to help him. But doing this, he gave into his anger and rage and began feeling scared, thinking that he wanted to be a hero, that he wanted to save Bakugo, but did he do something bad? Was he a villain now? As these thoughts keep rushing through his head, he begins crying as his mother tried to comfort him. After that, what happened, Izuku was well known all across his kindergarten class, saying that he was a hero and that his quirk was so strong. As Bakugo even said thank you, but also felt like he was a lot more stronger than expected, and saying that he needs to get stronger since he's going to become the number one hero. As Izuku smiles a bit, he also reminds himself on what happened and believes that he will never use that power ever again, that he'll never transform ever again, saying that he'll become strong his own way without hurting anyone, without losing control ever again. And this time, Izuku's quirk name is changed. They decided to call this quirk Wildfire because of how powerful his flames change right after he transforms. If you guys know, this form where Rean gets new flames, gets these black flames, is called his ogre power. Only a power that he has, well, certain individuals in the Trails of Cold Steel universe have. And not only that, he learned the way of the 8 leaves, 1 blade style to suppress this dark power until he finally realized that he needed to embrace it for the time being. In this timeline, Izuku begins suppressing the same power, begins suppressing this other side of him. And because of it, he feels like he's not even reaching his true strength with his fire and needs to find out a different way to use it to become a hero. And soon, he runs into an old man with a sword. As he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there." As he says, "Don't worry, it's my old age. Gets to me sometimes as well." As the man with a long beard and can barely even see his eyes, as Izuku says, "You have a sword there. Are you a hero or somewhat?" As he says, "Retired hero, actually. Now I'm just an old man taking a small stroll around the city. That's all." As Izuku says, "Huh, what kind of hero were you?" As he begins thinking, since Izuku is still a bit of a hero nerd in this one, so yeah, that ain't gonna change one bit. As he tells him, 8 leaves. My name is Kaifung." As he says, 8 leaves? Wait, you're the swordsman hero, 8 leaves, right? Oh my god, you disappeared off the face of the earth about 20 years ago, before I was born. So what happened to you? As he tells him once again that he was just retired, and that he travels the world, honing his skills and teaching those the way of his self-taught swordsman fighting style, being the 8 leaves, 1 blade style, and the hand-to-hand combat 8 leaves unarmed form. As he says, "Huh, it's so cool." As he tells him, "You seem pretty strong. I can tell by your aura. What is your quirk, young man?" As he says, "It's wildfire. I have the power to create flames all across my body and my hands. But it's called wildfire because I have a transformation that I call my, wild form. So I can't really control it. Because of that, I don't think I'll be the hero that I always wanted to be. And I think I might scare people." As he says, "Then you need to control it. You need discipline. And not only that, to embrace it as well." As he tells him, "How old are you?" As Izuku says, "I'm 10 actually, sir." As he says, "Well then, I guess I got at least a couple years to train you." As saying this, Izuku tells his mother that he met Kaifung and says that he wants to train him to become a hero and to even master his flames in a more better way. She allows this, and Izuku began training in the 8 leaves, 1 blade style. Through this training, Izuku mostly managed to focus on the 8 leaves unarmed form, which is the basics of all beginners that have to learn before wielding a sword. They go through this every day, on every week, no matter what, through day and night, and through the rain and snow, through the scorching sun and the moon and the cold weather. They always they train in this. Izuku began learning this hand-to-hand combat style and the ins and outs with no flaws whatsoever. As he says, "Good. Now you're ready for a sword." Izuku was 11 years old when he learned this fighting style, when he mastered the unarmed form, and he began using katana to train. As the 8 leaves 1 blade style is similar to that of Iai Jutsu, the art of the quick draw with a sword. Since Izuku's fighting style he had to be moving faster than the well-trained eye can see, and even sheath his blade faster than he can draw it. just so he'd be able to get an upper hand on his opponents. Due to this, Izuku struggled with this from time to time, and it took him almost as it was easy for Master Kaifung because of his quirk, which is called Swift, where he's able to move faster than the eye can track, both with his hands, his feet, and his entire body itself. Due to this, he mastered his own fighting style perfectly. However, for Izuku and all of his other students, it took them a lot more longer to master such a sword style that was made for increased speed and moving faster than the normal eye can see as well. However, Izuku didn't give up. He kept at it over and over and over again, and he was able to be past the beginner stage and began going through intermediate level. Because of this, Izuku began making his own techniques with the 8 Leaves 1 Blade style, just like Rean's techniques being the Arc Slash, the second form Gale, the Dragon Slash, and many more techniques. Even his own self techniques called the Azure Flame Slash, which he increases the temperature of all of his flames, burning to the level of fiery blue, which he has a hard time controlling, but over time he began mastering it easily. Izuku was already at the age of 13, and Master Kaifung decided to finish his training before leaving, and told him, "Izuku, I plan to leave soon, so I want you to show me everything that you've learned, and not only that, to control your wild side." As he tells him, "Are you sure, Master? I mean, I don't want to hurt you, but..." As Kaifung tells him, "You're dealing with one of the best hero, who was once the best hero in the world. Don't expect to go I wouldn't expect you to go easy on me, got it?" As Izuku saying, "Okay, Master." As he lets his guard down for a bit, makes his mind go blank, holds his chest with his left hand, and soon, his flames that were once red soon began turning a purplish black, and soon he began screaming at the top of his lungs. His hair turning white, and opening his eyes from green to red. As Kaifung says, "So this is your form, the form you've been suppressing." As he draws his sword, and Izuku does the same thing, and the two clash. The clash was so loud and that almost everyone heard it all across the entire city, and wondering what's going on, believing that it may be an earthquake or possibly a villain attack. As their swords go clashing once more, they're both of them moving almost as faster than the naked eye could see, that it almost looks like they look like blurs. Soon after, Izuku feels like he was getting the upper hand in his form, as he prepares to use his Azure Flames, but in the dark form. But his flames began being black, called his Black Flame Strike. He was about to hit Master Kaifung until Master Kaifung used his own technique called the Fallen Leaves, where he moved his blade so fast that not even Izuku could track it, knocking him out of his form and keeping him in a place before he was brought to his knees, and feels like he's exhausted like hell, and holding his hand to his chest, short out of breath, as he says, "You still need to control it. You haven't accepted it, haven't you, Izuku?" As he tells him, "No, this form, this other side of me isn't natural. How can I call myself a hero if this form could hurt anybody that I care about?" As he says, "Oh, Izuku, you poor, stupid child. The form may be consumed in rage and anger, but you don't hurt those you are trying to protect. However, in that form, you are strong enough to kill even the most powerful of villains. Don't forget that. That's why you need to control the power, by accepting it. If you keep denying that side of you, you won't become the hero you dreamed of. As Izuku saying, I'll try, master. I swear. As he says, don't just try, do. As he sheaths his sword, he tells his student farewell, and Izuku does the same, as the both of them bow. A year later, Izuku is now a senior in junior high, and this is the day that he met All Might. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this part. I was gonna think about making it a part 0, but I don't really care too much anyway. But also, thank you guys for your continued support. I really love it. You guys are amazing, and to my 1,000 subscribers, thank you. Thank you so much for watching my channel. With that said, this is Mooky signing out. Later.